We've all had those types of games that we couldn't get into no matter how hard we tried. We see glowing reviews that talk about how great the game is and how revolutionary it may be, just for us to buy it, and it's not what you expected. It's not the game's fault or even the reviewer's fault. It could just be that you don't have much experience with the genre and something just isn't clicking. Please remember to leave the video a like and to subscribe. It's free and really helps the channel grow. Thank you. There are genres that have a high ceiling when it comes to playing it the correct way. Monster Hunter World is the perfect example of the opposite. It removed the barriers of the loading screens between the zones that the older game shared. They had you on the edge of your seat staring at a blank screen as you wait for the game to load you in. Tracking the monsters also needed to be done using the paintball. You needed to use that clunky aiming system to hit the monster with the paintball so it would stay on your map. And then you keep an eye on it since it didn't last very long. Monster Hunter World does this all for you, allowing you to get to the fun quicker. They even help you find the monster by allowing you to examine tracks and scratches in the environment so you know exactly where to find them. Puzzle games may seem boring to those that prefer fast-paced action games or don't feel like doing homework when they sit down to play a game. But a game like Portal uses an interesting and mysterious world with funny and likable characters to surround this game mechanic that, on its own, would be pretty boring. The portals themselves work exactly how you'd expect, not just keeping you right side up, but also altering the science behind it in ways to make it simple to understand. Plus, surround that with a comedy and strong story, you may find yourself willing to try other puzzle games like Cube. These other games may not scratch that same itch, but Portal really set the foundation for a great way to onboard players into the puzzle genre. When it comes to onboarding, I think Elden Ring is a great example of this. Souls-likes have a history of being difficult. The casual and hardcore audience argue whether or not the games are accessible and if they should have difficulty options. Elden Ring takes that familiar formula, but also mixes it with an inviting open world and a variety of playstyles. The Shadows of War and the easily accessible summons make sure that you aren't fighting these tough enemies alone. You don't need a rare item like Ember or Humanity to be able to get past a boss that you've been stuck on for days. It's either this game or Bloodborne being the best examples, taking a genre synonymous with high difficulty and skill checks you to make sure that you can pay to play. There are plenty of previous entries to the series, so there is quite the backlog waiting for you if you get hooked, like the Dark Souls trilogy to Demon Souls and even Souls-inspired games like Lies of P. For me, tactics games have always seemed like something I wouldn't be interested in. It's a slow-paced, top-down, methodical way of playing that I didn't have an affinity for. Then in 2017, Ubisoft would make Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and that would hit all the right notes. Fun gameplay with an emphasis on positioning and elemental attacks. But if I'm being honest, it wasn't until I picked up Tactics Ogre Reborn that it really made me see what I've been missing. Choosing which units you wanted on your squad, each with different movement ranges, strengths, weaknesses, and methods of attack, that I began to see it as a game of chess. You might want your archers and healers to stay in the back and have your tank front and center, and then put your higher mobility characters as far forward as you can so you can pick off their archers and healers in the back line. This game made me eager to try out Triangle Strategy, as well as try out Baldur's Gate 3, a game I never would have tried out otherwise. Lastly, getting into a new genre can really open doors to older games that you might have missed because they didn't appeal to you at the time, or now allow you to look forward to newer releases. Hollow Knight really was a monumental game. For a low cost, you could get this game that is absolutely packed with content. Simple at first, with a jump, slash, and dash, the game eases you into how the mechanics work, finding new abilities that make you stronger and also allow you to access new areas. Hollow Knight is available on almost every modern system despite being inspired by some of the early days of console gaming. Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night are other games that are worth a shot if Hollow Knight hits on all of the right notes. Niche genres that were acclaimed at the time now wait for you in the backlog for you to approach them with a modern mindset as they show off a timeless art style. I could go on and on. Did you get into immersive sims with Dishonored or Prey? How about first-person shooters from Call of Duty or Halo? Did Resident Evil 4 get you into survival horror? Or maybe it was Dead Space? Let me know if a game ever made you click with an unfamiliar genre. Feel free to leave a comment letting me know which game did it and how. Again, please leave the video a like and subscribe. I'm on Twitter at SilverJS and on Instagram at JSSilver. Threes for the E's. I'll see you all in the next one. Stay safe.